What is up, everyone? Today we have an 8-minute AMRAP, as many rounds as possible in 8 minutes. So we're going to be moving fast through some push-ups, some squats, and some sit-ups. If you're ready, here we go. Before we get going, let's get nice and warm. Meet me on the floor. We're going to start with some prone cobras into a down dog. We're going to do this for about a minute. Let's hang out down here. We're going to lay all the way down, lift your chest up, then raise your hip up, push your head towards your feet. Now on the way down, let's lower back down to the chest, making contact with the floor, into that prone cobra again. Be careful with your low back here. If this is too much compression and when your low back is in this extended position, you don't have to do it too aggressively. You can raise your hips up just a little bit. And then let's go back into that down dog. Lay back down. Lift your chest up nice and tall. About 20 seconds left. Raise your hips up. Push your head all the way through. Get that stretch in your shoulders. One more here, just enough time. Great, go ahead and rest your knees down. Let's get into this lunge position. And we're going to do a Samson stretch, but we're going to stay in place. So keeping this right knee down, I have my left foot out in front of me. I'm just gonna raise my arms, I'm locking them, locking my hands, then raising my arms up into the ceiling, and just gently leaning over to the side of this front leg. I'm gonna hold a minute here, and let's rock our hips forward and back just a little bit. Scoot your knee back just a little bit so you have some room to lean forward. And as you lean forward, you'll feel that stretch right around your pocket. Come back up. Just go back and forth. About 15 more seconds. There we go. Nice. 2, 1. Switch sides. Let's get a minute on this side. Just moving forward, back just a little bit. Raise your arms up to the ceiling. As you lean forward, you'll get that big stretch. The front side of your hip there on this left side, right by your pockets. And gently leaning over to the side as well. That way you get this big stretch on the side of your body. About 25 more seconds. Moving around and seeing what feels good for you as we're holding this stretch here. 2, 1. Nice. Let's go back down to this hands and knees position. And we're going to move through some cat-cows. Let's get into this flex cat position. Actively press down with your hands against the mat. Trying to tuck your hip downward, tucking down on your tailbone. Then we're going to go into extension. This extended cow position. Still actively pressing down with our arms. Then tuck your chin down. Tuck your hip under. Back into this cow position. Extended through this cow position. Just moving back and forth for a minute here, about 15 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and stand up, guys. And we're gonna go into this wide stance, feet just beyond the width of your shoulders. We're just gonna reach for the ground, shift your weight side to side, back to the center, then stand, raise your arms up, and lean over side to side. Last minute of our warm-up here. 30 more seconds. And I'll turn this way so you guys can see, but when I go to reach for the ground, I'm trying to keep my back flat, nice and neutral here. Loading my legs as I shift my weight side to side, and then stand, lean over side to side. 10 more seconds. Awesome job, everyone. That's our warm-up. Let's talk about today's workout here next. Here's today's workout. It's going to be 8 minutes, as many rounds as possible. We're going through 3 different movements. The first movement is a push-up. We're doing 8 repetitions. Next, 10 bodyweight squats, and finishing with 12 sit-ups. We're going to cycle through as many rounds as possible in that 8-minute time frame, continuous movement, and that's going to be our workout for today. Here are the standards for today's workout. The push-up is going to start with your feet behind your body, your hands directly underneath your shoulders, knees off the mat. From here, we're going to lean forward until your chest makes contact with the floor, pressing away from the floor so that your arms can extend, and you can get back to that starting position of a plank hold at the top of that push-up. We're moving through 8 reps of this push-up. Things to keep in mind as you're performing the push-up, keeping those elbows down tight so that we're loading the appropriate muscles. We don't want unnecessary loading in the joints of our shoulder and our elbows, but if we keep the elbows down, it'll load our chest, shoulders, back of the arms, all the good places that we want to target with the push-up. Let's move on to the squat. For the squat, we're starting with our feet shoulder width apart. Our eyes are neutral, looking straight down at the horizon, and with our arms out in front of us, we're going to sit our hips down below the plane of our knee. For some of us, that might not be possible today, and that's totally okay. Over time, we're hoping that the squat does improve as your flexibility and mobility improve together. But if for today, that's all you have, just getting your hips to somewhere close to parallel, we're gonna call it there. That's more than fine. You're gonna still get an awesome workout. And our last movement is going to be the sit-up. For the sit-up, we're gonna be laying on our back and our feet flat on the floor. Reach our arms back. We're using our arms as kind of a counterbalance to help us move through the sit-ups quickly. As I lay my body back down, I'm going to curl my back down so that my core is controlling the rate at which my back lays flat on the mat again. Just like that. That is the standard we're looking for today's 8-minute AMRAP of your push-up, your squat, and your sit-up. If you're ready, we're gonna set 10 seconds on our countdown for our starting clock for this 8-minute workout. Again, we wanna keep in mind how many rounds and repetitions we're completing in 8 minutes. Let's go into the push-up. 8 reps here. Awesome. Let's go and stand up. 10 bodyweight squats. We might treat these first couple rounds as a way to just kind of feel out what is a good pace for us to maintain during the entire 8 minutes. Awesome. Let's go to the floor. Let's get our 12 sit-ups. Back to the push-ups. Let's do it. 8 reps again. sure we get contact with our chest and the floor every time during those push-ups. Back to 10 squats. And sit-ups again. Feeling those sit-ups already. Back to the push-ups. If your arms are feeling fatigued at this point, please feel free to adjust and modify to a knee push-up variation. Same rules apply. Chest in contact with the floor, elbows down tight against the body. During our squats here, good modification is to go to parallel with your squat and not having to worry too much about getting into the deepest squat that you can, because that very likely might not be today, and that's okay. But we want to stay moving for these 8 minutes. Back to the sit-ups. Sweet. Starting round 4 push-ups. Sit-ups. I'm feeling the sit-ups. So if at this point you feel it's more appropriate to do dead bugs, please go ahead and follow along to do the dead bugs. That'll be 10 dead bugs on each side. More than halfway. Back to those push-ups, 45 seconds, guys. Ah, 10 seconds, let's do it. Way to go, everyone. We made it 8 minutes. So before you forget, go ahead and write down, record somewhere, maybe on your phone, and make a note of how many rounds and reps you've completed for today's workout of 8 minutes, going through your 8 push-ups, 10 squats, and 12 sit-ups. And we want to remember our score because we're going to revisit this in the future. Great work, everyone.